ventriloquist. Yeah. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I gotta remember that being on the Teen Beat magazine, Ventriloquist Monthly. Like, so I look like a guy who carries around a creepy suitcase with a doll. It's not the look I'm going for. But I don't know about anyone else, but I've been watching way too many documentaries. And I started watching this documentary about prostitution in the 70s. And as it turns out, I know absolutely nothing about prostitution. As I'm watching this, I see all the pimps taking all this money and never give anything back to the women. And I started to wonder, how much of a cut does a pimp get? And I had no idea. So I took to Google. Yeah, and I typed in the words, how much of a cut does a pimp get from his hoe? Which is probably the whitest thing I've ever written in my entire life. And it came up with all these search results with interviews with pimps. And as it turns out, pimps are an unreliable source of information. I did not learn anything. But now I have this concern that sometime my mom will come to visit. She'll want to use my computer. And because Chicago's an expensive city, she'll type in the words, how much? And the first thing that'll pop up is, of a cut does a pimp get from his hoe? And here's the problem. That makes me sound really concerned about the pimp. Yeah, that's not the side you want to be on. But the nice thing is that we're streaming everything nowadays. So I don't have to watch all these commercials anymore. But every now and again, they do happen. And I was watching this video on YouTube. In the middle, this commercial popped up, and it just said, "Are you tired of living in a prison of your own fat?" Which, yeah, ouch. I don't know why commercials suddenly got so mean. Like, I thought the whole point was to get you to buy their product, right? So I don't know if it's just all these Gen Xers are mad that millennials aren't buying their product. But I feel like we're one step away from the next commercial just going like, hey, are you tired of being an unfuckable piece of trash? Drink our sparkling water. Yeah. All right, guys. So I'll leave you with this. A few years back, my grandma passed away, and when I went to her funeral, they were showing this photo slideshow of all these pictures over the course of her life. And a lot of these pictures took place at family reunions. And I used to attend family reunions back when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I was a goth kid. I had long black hair that I hung in my face. But I'm also 6'5". So in all photographs, I got to stand in the back. So as they're showing these pictures, you got all these smiling, happy people in the front and the girl from The Ring standing behind them. Which had looked really weird to anyone who didn't know I was. Because, like, yeah, of course your grandmother's dead. The Grim Reaper's been tracking her for like 20 years. Thank you, Unmuted Comedy in Australia. Appreciate it.
Hey.
All right. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec. I'm just doing this. All right. Well done, everybody. Another big clap. Woo!
Thank you.
Sorry. I'm just, hang on. Sorry, guys. This is just trying to be in charge of too many devices, and it's fine. I'm just putting myself back on the Zoom because I was organizing the lineup. People asking me, just where am I on the lineup? I'm like, fuck off. Okay.
Like, I'm no longer entertaining. I don't know what to do.
Just, it's fine. Just don't worry. I'm just going to put you onto there, and now I will. Yeah, okay. I just can't remember which device I was using to spotlight myself. Okay, I might do that. I might just do that. Okay, sorry guys. This is just me working out how to do the spotlighting on 3 different devices. Okay, it's fine. I know that, but I just worked out. I have to work out which device I've spotlighted in with. It's fine. There we go. Okay.
Hey, Georgia.
Hey,
Now.
who did that? I don't know who said that. Duncan, I think yeah, a little bit of it.
Okay. All right, now, fuck. Okay, I think it might, I had people switching from online to live, but having just done that experience and probably needing that body out. Okay. I was just saying, I feel like maybe we'll do the live performance all at once instead of doing switching now, because that was just a little bit too, awkward for you. I was fine. Okay, guys, because I had a couple of people online, I'm switching around, but I feel like, as usual, my expectations of myself are too high. It's not me though, it's not me. So what I might do is introduce some live performers and then we'll go to the online. Is that okay with people?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I will. Yeah. The next up is Aarti, and then I'll tell you, Duncan. Don't worry, I will tell you. It's just all changed. You know what I taught my children to say? Mummy, after you've finished doing what you're doing, can you please, whatever you want me for? And I'll be like, sure, that's fine. And so could I just ask everybody, after you finish doing what you're doing, can you tell me where I am on the set? I will. I will do that. Sorry, Duncan. That wasn't really a dig at you. It was only because I love you there. All right. Now, next performer is a very, very good friend of mine, and she is a beautiful supporter. And I think the first time I was unmuted, she came on unmuted. I think I was passed out. So she came back. She came back. Okay. Can everybody hear everything? Yeah. Okay. I just need to change this so that you guys can have the. I don't know, what do you want on the big screen now when there's an online? Hang on, I'll figure it out. But in the meantime, Auntie, if you look there, you will see everyone. Okay? See? And then it's like, see? You can see everyone. Yeah. So I should get Michael to take a photo of how ingenious I am. I don't need you to say nice things about me. Okay, welcome to Aarti. Aarti is amazing, and she's also a beautiful, funny comedian.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you. Oh, there you go. That's great.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Paula. I have to say one thing though, like unmuted during lockdown, it was a hard time. Thank you for unmuted, really, that it got us through. So can we please give a big round of applause for that? Thank you. It's such a really, it's a pleasure to know you, to have you as a friend. Thank you for your friendship also.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Just have a show of hands. Do we want the main person online up on the big screen? What do you want? What do you want the other people? The other Zoom people. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay. Off you go, Aarti. Sorry, I only did that because I love you.
I'm not in trouble. Okay, I'll start my comedy now.
Yeah. So yeah, don't forget to look here so you can look at the others.
We're having fun. Bitch tits. This guy started at work, came up to me. Hi, I'm Christopher with a K. I was like, that's great. Because Christopher with CH should be Christopher. My father passed away.
Oh.
Thanks for asking. He's with Christ now. And no one has the courage to inform his 97-year-old mom, my 97-year-old grandma. I suggested we never tell her, and finally, when she does die, she'll be in for such a pleasant surprise. To see you here. I'm a Hindu, married to a Catholic Christian. My mom, she called me up, on a Good Friday morning. Happy Good Friday! Have you already called up my in-laws and wished them? No. I thought I would call you first. Explain to her why, there's nothing happy about Good Friday. Oh, very good, very good. You told me now I will call up your in-laws and I will say, I'm so sorry to hear about Christ. I am a mom. In all honesty, I never wanted to have kids. Never. Never. Neither did my husband. But then, there is a breed called aunties. They're worldwide, not just Indian aunties, all the aunties of the world. They explained me, they said, you need to have a child, like, how else are you gonna, get the frustration, your husband's frustration out, After having the one child, I found out that it's illegal to hit kids in Australia. So finally, I had to go to a psychologist to get my husband's frustration out. And I understand that the psychologist said, Aarti, you should never pent up these feelings of anger and frustration inside you. What you need to do is you need to get a pillow. I was like, no, don't suffocate him. You just keep it separately. And whenever these feelings come up, you hit the pillow. Boom. Boom, boom. And I was like, oh my God, that was the moment of, like a knowledge. I was like, oh my God, no wonder I have never seen my mom, my aunties, any of my aunties see a psychologist because they had us. We were their pillows. Yes. Yeah, what else? I think, okay, I'll leave you with, I'll leave you with this. Moms, I don't think we have any moms in the, Paula is a mom.
I'm not.
Paula is not. Any other mother?
I'm in denial.
Okay, look, I'm a mother and my pelvic floor is not as great after childbirth. So now when I'm holding a takeaway cuppa and I have to sneeze, the other hand goes here. Whole time.
I do.
I mean, seriously, there cannot be anything more embarrassing than walking around town with a wet pussy. Been there, done that. Went and saw specialized pelvic floor physio last year, $250 for a session. Wow. Yeah. This lady, she put on gloves and shoved 2 fingers up my. I was like, excuse me, ma'am. I don't like the feel of latex. Also, I'm paying you $250. Go bareback, please. And 2 fingers. Come on. Give me 3 at least. I'm not even here without a happy ending. I've been visiting her every week ever since.
Oh, great.
Did the math yesterday. I told my husband, I said, look, if you want to save $1,000 a month, you can change you must change your career to a pelvic floor physio. He's not on board. So if anyone of you is thinking about it, just hit me up. I'll be a loyal customer. Give me mates rates and 3 fingers. That's all from me tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you for the hard. Thank you.
Hey.
All right, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Aarti. Very big favorite of Melbourne comedy scene. Our next performer is getting the award for the traveling the furthest distance, we decided, from Merga. Which I love the sound of that. I wake up every morning with that on my mind. I'm thinking of Olga. So, Olga, welcome to Australia. Here you are with a lot of exciting things to show us. And everybody give a big round of applause for Olga.
Hello, everyone. Auntie was calling for some moms, but I'm not a mom, I'm Auntie. And by my red hat and by my beautiful basket, you probably found out that I'm who? from Russia, right? But no, I'm just an English teacher. But I wish I was paid as well as hookers in Russia. Yeah, sometimes people ask me, Olya, here is the head, but where is the star? And I'm like, come on, people, are you freaking blind? The star is in front of you. Oh, as you probably understood, I'm quite of a narcissist. Any narcissist in the room? Or no? Fortunately. But how did you find out that you were a narcissist? Do you remember? Yeah, you said you were. But just forget about it, never mind. I don't give it anyways. You got it. I understood that I was a narcissist when I was a teenager. When I noticed that masturbating, I enjoy more than having sex with my father. In Russia, nobody likes this joke because nobody in Russia likes narcissists. Yeah, but actually, you know what? I come from a very, very strict family, and I have no mercy for those who forget safe word. And if in your country, probably the most like famous safe word is no. In Russia, it's quite the opposite. Or put in. And if you like know the safe word, you're safe. And also you should not in Russia use an F word. Never use an F word for Russia because we have the only one F word, which is freedom. Well, not all of you are like laughing, but I'll show you how we exit the freedom of speech. Paula, why are you laughing? It was my favorite gag. It was my favorite gag, but it was not my favorite. You know what was famous toy in Russia? It's Tolstoy. And I have a boy toy. You call it babushka, which is in Russian grandmother, and I call it dedushka, which is a fucked up dictator. And I'll show you this thing for me to demonstrate the future of Russia. Once I performed like yesterday, and someone like in the audience, like, future of Russia? And that joke was funny, I guess. But I still will show you. So, Mr. P, and then again, him, and then him again. Or I don't know if you can see. Woo! But it's live stream, it's dangerous for me, so I will show you. So, as you can tell, he's getting even younger. So I called him like Benjamin Nuclear Button. Oh my God. Yeah. And you know, I just landed a couple of days ago and I got jet lag, but it's normal. When you travel by plane from Russia to any country, civilized country, you get a jet lag. But if you travel back from a civilized country to Russia, you get a gulag. And you know, we also in Russia have differences in humor, in sense of humor, because in like regular countries, there are knock-knock jokes. It's like, knock-knock, who is there? And in Russia, knock-knock jokes are different. If I make a joke about Putin or war, I'll hear knock-knock into my door, and you know who is there. Unfortunately, me too. I was talking about in an art enjoying masturbation, but more than masturbation on stage, I love cracking up. So, ladies and gentlemen, the cracking. Well, sometimes in Russian bars, they say, oh, you cannot take your own drinks with you. And I say, wait a second, it's not ours yet, unless it's made in Alaska, which I doubt. And then it's fine. My dad, yeah, you got it. My dad, you remember my father, right? He used to tell me, Olya, never have sex without love. And that's no problem because I love the Kraken. Here. Sometimes ladies, real ladies, like get shocked in the audience and say, come on, play. And no, I'm smart, I'm teaching kids. Ladies drink with a pinky up. Maybe I'm not a lady, but I'm definitely a queen. A prop queen from Russia.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Auntie, oh yeah, everybody.
Nailing the live and Zoom.
And that, life and death.
And yeah, and life and death. You won't tell anyone. I'll edit it. Okay. Thank you again. Olga has come a long way for this gig, so I feel like, that deserves another clap. But she I'm pretty like chuffed it, and I've just figured out how to do it. Had a spotlight on my phone, so it took me a lot easier. So I'm thinking now I'm going to do like groups of three online, live online, so that when we, anyway, just saying. But our next comedian has come all the way from Chi Minh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she apparently she came to Melbourne because of me.
Yes.
Lucky Melbourne, lucky Melbourne. I feel like Melbourne owes me a big gratitude. So this lady has come all the way from Vietnam to share her amazing comedy with us, and so I'm going to give the mic to her. I promise. All right, there you go, Ankita.
Really amazing. As Aarti was saying, I'm going to kill my first minute of the 5 minutes by just doing a gratitude speech. As Aarti was saying that during lockdown, much like these, online mics, unmuted kept us going. And then, having been able to see all these amazing comics, it really pushed us to write better and then, perform better. It's very difficult to make comics laugh, Anyway, so recently I've been diagnosed with, any of you know what that shit is? Me neither. So, yeah, I'm Indian, right? I know malaria. So when the doctor told me I have urticaria, I was like, move over, peasants, bitch has arrived. Yeah, but the doctor was like, no, it's not a good thing. It's an autoimmune disease. So I was like, okay, what is an autoimmune disease? And then he said, autoimmune disease is when your cells don't like their own kinds. They try to kill each other. I was like, wow, that's me and my mom. When did I internalize that shit? So I asked him, is there a cure? He said, no, I said, yeah, I figured that. Then I asked him, no, but then seriously, what are we going to do about it? And then he said, well, you gotta love your body more. You gotta shower her with more care and attention. And I was like, are you sure? It has to work with my mom. Doc, really, I mean, I follow what I like to call the 2M rule. I meditate and masturbate every single day. Usually at the same time. It's not his money, I'm economical, bitch. So now I have upgraded to 3M, right? So I meditate and masturbate and call my mom. All at the same time. It's going well, but it hasn't come back. All right, what are we going to talk about next? Tinder, of course. How can I not talk about Tinder, right? From the look of the room, doesn't feel like any of you is on Tinder, right? are all in healthy relationships, like fuck you all. Look, I love Tinder, okay? Tinder for me is like a candy store, right? So many options, right? Tall, small, blonde, bold, black, brown, yellow, blue. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And I love flavor profiling guys, you know. So I realized guys in their 20s are like chewing gums. Yeah, 5 minutes of fresh mouthful, then tiresome chewing. And you always find one under the table or lying on the pavement. One time I had to pull one out of my hair. Oh, man. Guys in their 30s are a lot better, okay? They are like lollipops. Sweet, I can't stop sucking till the end. Also, I look cute with one in my mouth. Older guys are like peanut brittle. If I'm a little too forceful, something's gonna break. Now, there are some guys who post at least one picture of them sitting in a cafe with their laptop on, working away. I feel that guy is like protein bar. You know, you think he's good for you, he probably is, but he's boring as fuck. Yeah, below that chocolate covering is just only. Then there are those guys who post no pictures. It's inspirational quote after inspirational quote after inspirational quote. I'm like, I'm here to eat candy. Show me what you got under the wrapper, dude. Also, you know, stretch your limits. What hurts you also makes you stronger. Open up to new possibilities. Are we talking life goals or BDSM? Like, be clear. I love the guys who post pictures with their group of friends. They are like Skittles. I'm like, you sound all right, but I want the blue one next to you. I also want the yellow one right next to you. You have just sold the whole package. And since yesterday I have been in Melbourne, I have to tell you guys, Melbourne is just full of M&Ms. Mullets and moustache. All right, that's my time. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Thank you. Okay, so just a sound check, sound check. How is our sound going online? Can you hear that okay? Is that good?
Yeah, it's just a bit distorted, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
It's because we've
Head-
got a system.
Yeah, headphones make it
Yeah.
better. So, but yeah, but it's cutting in and out a little bit.
Apologies
But
for that. It is. Well, I feel like we just have to hold the mic, close. Is that
that's all right.
okay if I'm doing like
It's
that?
our fault. It's our fault for not being there in person.
That's right. We have a different mic. Someone stole it. Seriously, someone stole the mic. I'm not telling a lie. Okay, so are you ready? Are you Duncan?
I am. There was someone who said they were going to get online, so you like just this one, just to see, or I can go.
No, I actually was planning to have David on now. So is that what you mean?
No, that's,
You want to go on now?
no, I thought I was up there,
I just decided to do it. You want to go on now though? You thought that? Let's get you on.
No.
All right. David, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I said we will just have a couple of online, because otherwise I'm figuring this out. This is how I did the first couple of unmuteds too. We're working with new kind of systems. So I thought it might break it up a little bit if we have a couple of online and then a couple of live. But I figured out how to do the spotlighting, so it's like, all right, okay. Sorry to, but you have to go with the flow with these things, learning something new. It takes time. It takes your time. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump to an online performer, and this is someone I'm just going to spotlight him. So Saara, could you bring my phone over to me, please? Look, I know people say to delegate, but you know what? Whenever I do something the first time, it's actually, thank you, Saara. Yeah, just stand there. Okay, delegating works if you know what the hell you're doing. sorry, but if you don't know what the hell you're doing, it's hard to tell someone else what they have to fucking do. You get me?
Yeah.
That's how I parent as well. All right, so we now have David. Hello, David. David Habel. Just a little bit of detail about David Habel. Hang on.
Hi,
The
Dave.
screen, let's put the screen on speaker. Okay, so you can see him. That's all right.
Yeah.
I smashed this the first day, so I got that out of the way. First day I bought my phone. I smashed it and I was like, well, that's one less thing to worry about. So David was actually someone who saved us from closing. I don't know if anyone was online that night when we had that terrible incident of the Bogan Barrack boys came online and just really just made me feel like giving up on Unmuted. And then the next week, David, you came on and you were so lovely and you were so positive and so encouraging. I was just like, okay, I'll do it again. And that's also what I thought with my third child. But really, thank you so much. You did actually help save Unmuted. But Saara helped us start it and you sort of rescued us from intensive care. So thank you very much. Really appreciate everything that you've done to keep us online. So, thank you all over everyone. I'm going to spotlight you now.
You're already spotlighted. I'm going to unspotlight me.
Thank you, Paula. Yes, Unmuted definitely brought me out of a dark time myself, so I feel a lot of gratitude in your direction as well. Let's see. I wanted to mention two things first. I do have a fan in here with me. And I also have an audience plant. All right. If you couldn't tell by my voice, I'm American. But I'm a bad American. Like, I don't like guns. I do like sports, but only professional cycling. And the only hunting I do is for my other stock. Let's see. I find it funny that Tennessee's flag has stars on it because we swear we're not communists. I'm a musician, so I have no excuse to be just depressed. I would like to let her stay through you. I trimmed my mustache recently. Life
Really?
is better. Yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
Life is better when you don't have to worry about biting your own mustache. I just felt like I was drowning in hair, and luckily that's not a problem for me anymore. I'd like to start a Beach Boys cover band with people just from Idaho. We call it the Beach Boise. I was out on the town on a windy day earlier, and I realized that my body image issues were gone because I was almost being toppled over by said wind. B, my dream of being a weatherman was over, and C, I would make a really good professional kite. My dad asked me the other day if I was hungry, and I said generally. My mom saw my floral pants earlier tonight and said, "What are those?" And I said, they're pants, Mom. My pipes got clogged the other day, so I called a plumber. And when he arrived, he said, you're the 5th stoner this week. I heard about a plant in the CIA recently. It was a George Bush. People talk about fate and say, nothing is written. I guess I've just hallucinated a lot of books then. My keyboard got stolen earlier, so I was locked out of my apartment. No key. Thank you. I like to sleep with the sounds of wind and rain. Unfortunately, we had a tornado watch last night and my power went out. So suddenly I have these negative associations with wind and rain. So I haven't tested out whether or not it still relaxes me. I guess you could say binaural beats me. People say you are what you eat. I guess that's why I feel more like Korean pork than American pig. All right. Let's see. Well, I told one earlier that made someone laugh. It was, I like to dress exotically, but lately I've been finding out two sarongs don't make us right. Okay, that takes the wrong knowledge. This is the wrong audience for that joke. But yeah, I really appreciate you putting this together, Paula, and it's really cool to be part of a hybrid night. And I'm so glad for everyone who's joined us digitally and in person today. So thank you.
Yay.
All right, okay. So next on, thank you for that, David. Your sound was a little tiny bit muffled, that's all. If I wasn't laughing, it wasn't because I heard your joke.
Okay.
It was because I didn't hear it, that's all. I usually prefer it if people aren't laughing, it's because they didn't hear my joke. No, because I did. All right, okay, thanks, David. I don't know why, it was just, but I heard most of them. All right, oh, that's me. Okay, we have another amazing performer on who's been on, how many times have you been on Unmuted, Rich? Okay, he's left the planet. Very pretty. Okay, are you there?
Get ready.
Wait. You are, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Okay, good. Noise. I love it. I love the effort that people go to for this show. Okay, take it away. Now, Rich, I didn't give you much of an intro, but I know that, how many times, oh, you can tell us later. Here we have Richard Newman, known as Fit Rich. I still didn't get an S to that. Are you still fit? Let us see. I'm gonna take my spotlight off and then you can take it away. Big hand for Richard.
Yay.
Wait.
Yeah. I was so much younger then. Yeah, just thought actually before I carry on, just want to say it's kind of cool. I'm in globe here. I can see my house from here. I can actually, it's great. But I should tell you that basically I'm going to see my dad. And my dad, last time I saw him, he told me an old wives' tale. And you've heard of old wives' tales before. I mean, the classic one is every time I don't believe in fairies, fairy dies. Oh, there goes another one. But the one he told me was every time you tell a pun, a bit of your hair dies. Well, that's me one truly fucked then. And David Habel, I'm jealous of you. Before I carry on, may I just say I do not agree with self-promotion at all whatsoever. I think it's a horrible thing for anyone to do. I think it's very selfish. So yeah, I don't think anyone should self-promote their material at all whatsoever. So there we go. Anyway, back to the routine. But I can't help telling puns because to me, I think the best jokes in life are a bit like the invisible man having a wank. They just come out of nowhere. So with that in mind, yeah, I'm balding. In fact, I'm bald. In fact, I use a special shampoo now. It's called Why Bother? And believe it or not, I'm an actor as well as a comedian. I once auditioned for a L'Oreal advert, but I didn't get the part because it's worthless. And, believe it or not, though, I did used to be hairy. And I remember that frightening time when and that time in everyone's life when they find their first grey hair. Do you remember when you find your first grey hair? For those who have grey hair, remember that? Yeah, I remember when I found my first grey hair. I was embarrassed. I was terrified. I was, and I didn't know what to do. I mean, I did consider doing having my hair dyed, but unfortunately, there aren't that many pubic hairdressers around. Unfortunately, so yeah. But yeah, as you can see, I am from Wales, Old South Wales rather than New South Wales. But yeah, I live in an area of Wales which is well, the estate I live is quite quiet, but the estate next door it's quite rough, and you can hear them from my house going, "You fuck off! You fuck off! Give me a drugs! I'll smash your fucking face in!" I mean, honestly, who thought a primary school could be so noisy? Like, you know, just... I mean, I did still reference drugs, and I gotta say, I did do LSD one time. It's a great drug, but a shit with school at Scrabble it is. I mean, still, I did manage to beat those pink elephants, though. I'll never forget that. Anyway, in my state, one of my neighbours has actually bought a dog. Any dog fans in the audience?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a few. Cool, excellent. Yeah, because I love dogs too. In fact, my mum has dogs too. They're sort of crossbreeds. They are. And you've heard of crossbreeds, haven't you? You've heard of like a Labrador and a poodle is a Labradoodle. Cock Spaniel poodle is a cockapoo. Bulldog and Shih Tzu is well, you get the idea. Someone actually once told me they had a crossbreed with a Cocker Spaniel and a Bulldog, but it's just a cock and bull story, really. But anyway, back to my neighbour. My neighbour recently bought a dog, and I love dogs, but he's so annoying. Honestly, he's so annoying. He struts around like he owns the place. I mean, he sniffs my ass, he tries to shag my leg, he pisses on my leg, he shits my front garden, and then he rolls around in the shit just to make a point of it. Honestly, I don't know how the dog puts up with him. I should tell you, I'm going to express my age again. I was born because my birthday's coming up, and I'm going deeper into the 30s because I was born in 1989. And people say to me, "Hey, Rich, remember the 80s? Remember the 80s?" Yeah, considering I was a sperm for most of it, I have very fond memories of the 80s. Yeah, right. You can literally say I came from the 80s. Yeah, so there we go. But I remember, and actually during the lockdown, I do think about my family. I remember the times when my mum used to hold me in her arms, look at my little face and say, "Rich, Dear Rich. You're 33 years old now. You're far too old for this sort of thing. You kindly fuck off. But yeah, I mean, I'm curious about family. Lately, I've been curious about family life. Like, I mean, I remember asking my mum, like, if she could tell me about my forefathers, and she said when she met all four of them, she was knackered at the end of the night. So I asked my dad about my family. I mean, and it was actually quite curious, quite interesting, my family life. I mean, apparently my dad used to work in a prison, and I said, "Oh, cool. What do you do?" 25 years. And I once had an antisocial, but we don't talk much. And also, apparently, way back in my family tree, there were a lot of sailors in my family. So I'm proud to say, in front of Unmuted Comedy, in front of this online and live comedians here, I'm proud to say right now, I've got a lot of semen behind me. Yeah, should work on the wording on that one, shouldn't I? Okay. Yeah, and one more thing I should say about myself. So I actually have. I'm getting close to time, am I? Okay, I should be able to fit this in as long as I'm. And that's why I should always finish with a masturbation joke, because I've come a long way with them. I'm glad you got all that. I managed to fit all that in. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Thank you, Unmuted.
Well,
thank you, Paula. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rich. That was amazing. I love to see you again. It's been so long. I can't even remember the last time I saw you. When was that?
Oh, thank you.
Can I just say, when you said that you had a lot of semen behind you, I thought, is that why they call it the Milky Way? Because that's behind you at the moment.
Georgia, Georgia, what about start from the Unmuted era, the lockdown era? Georgia started doing her performances, like, in public. So thank you for that. That was your set, Georgia.
Yes, that's my bit. That's my bit. Yep. Nope, there might be more. There might be more.
Oh, okay.
I might
We are now going to go to the live performance mode, and we have our first comic up here. He's fresh from being rubbed raw in our national competition for comedy. Personally, I'm not a big fan of comedy competitions, because, like, I think it's all shit. Just kidding. Everyone except for Duncan. Come on up, Duncan. Sit on your.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so I've had a pretty rough week. Let me just say, if you spend work days drinking at the Pokies pub and sink 6 schooners, it really takes a toll on you. So I'm thinking of quitting drinking, but I'm just worried that if I do, I'm gonna lose half of my material. But anyway, so the other day I bought a smart TV, which was really cool. The unfortunate thing is now it won't let me watch Married at First Sight anymore. It's forcing me to watch Neil deGrasse Tyson and stuff. So yeah, and the other day I went on a date with someone I met at OK Cupid. It's a different joke, so I'm way off. Okay, it's a hell about that one. Anyway, so she said in her profile that she wanted someone who was young at heart. So I took it to McDonald's and bought some Happy Meals with my MyMac reward points. She really loved. I'm not sure. update on that later. So, and then I pulled out my Nintendo Switch and I said, let's play some Mario Kart and you can be Princess Peach if you want. I think she became. After that, she went to the toilet and never came back. She might have been yet. But yeah, it's a real shame because I was going to take her home and show her my Masters of the Universe action figure collection. So, I'm a little bit serious. This is what I did for Raw Comedy. I can't believe I failed this one. So, I have schizophrenia, in which I've had 5 psychotic episodes in the last 25 years or so. And it's been really rough. It's been exciting though as well. I have a lot of cool stories, like disappearing off into country Victoria and winding up on Biggs Red's train station, like communing with the intergalactic hive mind and solving the secrets of the universe and stuff. Most people think it's really scary, but when you're not fearing spending eternity in an empty universe, eternal torment, it's actually kind of fun. You like when you watch TV, like you like get messages and stuff that answer questions about God and reality and stuff. And like you can do stuff like cast magic spell by making pancakes out of wrong ingredients. Sorry about the so when I was schizophrenic, I thought I was Neo or like an angel or something, which makes me think of like Christian fundamentalists. I find it really offensive that Christian fundamentalists have the era of Scott Morrison and other right-wing politicians, and how different am I from those Christian fundamentalists? I mean, when I'm able to talk to God when I'm, psychotic, I get messages from rock and roll music, telling me, who should go to hell and stuff. So, and it's unfair that they have the year of government. I think people with schizophrenia should have the year of government as well. I mean, just think of all the cool policies we could come up with, like, the lizard people are not to disguise themselves as friendly neighbors and deceive you. That would be a good one. Bill Gates is not to monitor our thoughts through 5G. The CIA must stop using electronic surveillance needles that burrow into your brain while you're trying to sleep. And yeah, we get a really poor rap in popular media. People with schizophrenia, they make out that we're all like serial killers or something. And I mean, we're not that organized. Like, we're too busy busy walking backwards to the mailbox because it's a way of entering a parallel universe, so that we can enter a universe where the TV show Firefly wasn't cancelled. It hasn't worked yet. I'm sticking. And and we're doing things like eating toasted cheese sandwiches with maple syrup and raw onion, which is a really healthy meal. But if I ever do become a serial killer, like I'll just see that I've been able to set some goals and follow through on them and stuff. And even if those goals are just to kill all normies. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you all, everybody.
You definitely should have won Raw with that set. And kill all normies and then just killed everyone. No one in this room though. Okay, thank you so much, Duncan. That was really great. What a great achievement to stand up in front of, how many people did you have to perform in front of? 80 people, and this is how many people we normally perform in front of, and it's all our friends. So to perform in front of 80 people who you don't know, who've never met you, and it's putting yourself out there. So well done. Yeah.
Yeah, but how many lizard people? How many lizard people did he have to perform in front of?
Can you answer that one? Who knows?
At least
There
one,
you go,
Georgia.
Georgia. At least one. Yeah, I feel like we're all on the same page with you, Duncan, and that's why I love you all. That's why we get you, and we get us. I love you too. It's time for a bit of adoration, thank you. Man, it's so nice. Okay, I just want to do a little bit of shout out before I continue, before our next performer comes on. Two things. One, I'm going to talk about Michael Reynolds. Michael Reynolds, come up here.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Michael and they know his cat. I'm not going to do that joke. And about Michael's pussy, you know, everyone's done that already. I'm not doing that. Okay, well done. Thank you so much. Michael came online and just joined us every week. And you were just like and you brought people, you brought Steve, you brought friends. And it was your birthday. You didn't even tell us it was your birthday. And you brought them to the Unmuted gig.
He emotionally blackmailed us. He told us.
He emotionally blackmailed them.
We wanted to see him before we had to.
Okay, so there was a combination. It was Unmuted or die, and you just chose Michael. So that's wonderful. So thank you. And you also hosted. You hosted the show, or stand where you hosted, and you performed. So we loved having you on every week until lockdown ended, and then you went back to your regular gig at the Bergie, where you do some amazing photography. Where, by the way, Ankita and Olya will be performing tomorrow night. Yeah. Anyway, Bergie Salsa in Sydney Road, Brunswick. The funny near the Brunning is on, and hello. Someone's coming in. You want to come and join in the comedy? Millions of people here. So so thank you so much for your ongoing, just presence and friendly face every week. So thank you so much.
Ready, Michael.
Yeah.
Michael. Okay, now you can. Oh, you want to take a photo before you go down? Audience pic, yeah. All right, we're just getting a pic with the audience. No, it's all right. I'll let Michael do that. And I will bring up our next performer, who I love, whose name is Kieran Atkins, and he didn't actually perform comedy until Unmuted. It was out. You were we were your first gig, right? So how amazing is that? You actually thought, I want to do comedy, and we're all in lockdown. How the fuck am I going to do comedy? But Unmuted existed. So I just now think that, well done to Kieran. Big clap to Kieran. Amazing. And from the first time I saw you, I just knew this guy can do it. You can do it, Well done. So come over here and
one of the great things about being a comedian who's 95% gay is I can do this. Faggot. Faggot, 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 faggot. I'm allowed to do that. So this might alienate me from the audience. But I'm currently a vegetarian, and I'm thinking of eventually, transitioning to veganism. But it means that you have to Google a lot of things to find out whether or not they're vegan. And at about 3 o'clock in the morning a few weeks ago, I decided to Google, is cocaine vegan? The answer is, it's complicated. Because in order to get the coca trees, they cut down the whole of the forest, and all the chemicals kill a lot of fish. But I might be vegetarian. I might care about most animals, but fuck them fish. I've actually only tried cocaine once, and I got really, really annoying about it. You try cocaine once and you're like, I've tried cocaine. Everyone needs to know that I've tried cocaine. And I think I can't wait to transition to veganism because I get to be 10 times more annoying. I tried cocaine once, but I can't do it again because I'm vegan. So tomorrow is Succession Monday, which is very, very important to me. My favorite TV show is a show called Succession, and it's about these billionaires, sort of like the Murdoch family, Murdoch Empire. They're on like a media conglomerate, kind of like News Corp. But the problem with Succession is that unlike the Murdoch Empire, the billionaires are really hot. So I found out when I got into Succession that there is Succession porn and drawn porn and also written porn. And I'm like, well, I took a creative writing class in high school. Sure, I can write Succession porn. And so I'm here writing Succession porn. And oh my God, it's so good. It's the best porn anyone's ever written. You know, like Kendall is fucking sucking Stewie's dick and there's fucking balls against his chin and Stewie's about to come and it's amazing. And then I realized what I'm writing about. I'm writing News Corp porn. So I have bipolar. It's a disorder that affects my daily life, and I'm usually depressed rather than manic. And I will admit, I have had problems with suicidal thoughts and with self. And I have cut myself, I will admit, but I don't use a razor. I use a knife because I don't want to nick my fingers. My mum found out about the self-harm problem and she goes, this is a new thing. This is the thing that happened because of the internet. You know, it's a trendy thing now to cut yourself. And I was like, imagine going on a date with someone being like, I like old bluegrass music, Dungeons and Dragons, and cutting myself. And then going, oh, thank fuck, I thought you were a nerd. Anyway, that's my set for today. Also, don't forget, faggot.
Excellent.
Us and unmuted.
Hello, Tao, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Tao and Ankita are friends.
That's nice. We've got someone who actually knows Ankita as well from Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how small is the world?
Exactly.
Like you had to come this far to know that, you know, I don't know, something there. But welcome to, how did you find out about our music, Tao?
It was from the Facebook group called Displaced Comedians, and there was a little Google Sheets there, and I just tried to sign up, and it's like a few weeks.
Okay, but that's awesome because like that is like so out of date, but I'm glad you did because we were just happening to be having this gig like the next week after you signed up. So what a coincidence. You managed to get on even though we hadn't really been on for like a year.
Yeah.
So any earlier, like we would say, like I would have had to just ghost you. No, I do apply to those, but yeah. So anyway, welcome to Unmuted. Let's give Dao a big hand and take it away, Dao, from Vietnam.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna start, right? This is my cool. Yeah, this is my first online mic, by the way. So good. Hi guys. My name is Tao. I'm from Vietnam. I am quite nervous to perform comedy in Australia because I have a Vietnamese accent. So maybe only half of the joke will land in Australia. The rest are still on border security. trying to explain that the MSCs in instant noodles are not the drugs that we deserve, but the one we need. So I want to improve my communication skills because as you can see, I have a little bit of stutter. I started quite a lot when I was a kid, but only recently that I learned that the only English word to describe people who have a stutter are called stutterer. As you can see, it's pretty difficult for me to identify one. The other day, I tried to share this part of myself with one of my friends, and so it was like, oh yeah, so you say you have a tongue tie? Well, I'm gonna start. You know what? I'm an asshole. So it's just shorter that way. So because of me having a stutter, I'm quite hesitated to explain things to people because I find out that in order for me to explain things to people, it would take a lot of time. So, but there's one exception. I think that I feel confident about. That is having a stutter while talking about having a stutter, because I actually think that it is quite an effective way to communicate about this issue. Because when I'm stuttering, talking about stuttering, you don't have to imagine my suffering with stuttering at all. I'll be doing it for you, right in front of you, like a little commercials of stuttering in between the main content. You know, it's just like watching a video of an ad blocker on YouTube, and while you're watching it, you see an ad of an ad blocker on YouTube, and the ad blocker on YouTube will block the ad. You get the idea. So yeah.
Yep.
So as you can guess, I'm not very good with handling arguments. I almost got into a road fight once. In the middle, the other guy says, "Hey man, fuck your family, fuck your whole family," and I chose to drive away because I know that if I get back at him, I'll turn into an asshole. So while I was driving off, the only thing that was in my mind was that, well, the guy really said fuck your whole family. But how did he think that was going to be achievable logistically? I mean, like, Vietnamese families are quite standard, right? So I don't think that is much of an insult. That sounds more like work. Like, okay, well, grandma's done. Okay, come in, grandpa. That's 17 more. Okay. Yeah, that's my time. Thank you, guys.
Excellent. Very good. Great. Fantastic.
I'm just adding spot. That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really brilliant. I loved it. I'll tell you more why later, but really fantastic. And yeah, fantastic set. So welcome to Unmuted. We might be doing this again. I'm thinking we might do it again. We have to get Olga and Ankita to come out though, so we make sure that we reenact the way it was today. But yeah, so you'll be welcome back. We'll get another link happening. If someone's a message in, just let's see. Okay, yeah, great job. Love the positivity. So thank you. Well, big clap again for Tao.
Yeah, good on you. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's funny, you can say, oh, how does that back of my dress look? I still can't see. Okay, so thank you again, Dow, and hope to see you again in the new Unmuted, which I'm going to call Paula's monthly. I'm not, don't worry. But it's just a joke I have with myself. All right. Okay, we're going to go back to online to real life. We've got 2 performers left, unless we've got any last minute starters. But I think that's it. We don't have any. I haven't missed anyone, have I? Let me go to my online crew. Yeah. Oh, you're next. Sorry. Yes. Thank you. I liked that. Now, our next. I meant to say our next performer. I meant to say our next performer is an online performer performing all the way from. Where are you? Now.
Moment I'm in Malaysia.
Malaysia. Okay. There we go. Thank you. Yes, Pete was also ran an online comedy, which is still running. Like I used to say, we were the longest on run. But no, Tokyo has definitely surpassed our performance on Unmuted. But you guys are still going strong, right, Pete?
Yeah, still going on every Thursday, 9 p.m. Japan Standard Time.
There you go. Thursday, 9 p.m. Get online and do a gig with Tokyo. I think about it, I must admit. I do think about it, and then I close my eyes and go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I do think that. Does that count? The thought that counts?
The thought counts.
All right, Pete, I'll let you go. The thought counts, okay. I will get jump on. I miss you guys. Okay, here we go, Pete. I'm spotlighting me, and I'm putting you in the main spotlight. There you go. Awesome.
Oh, lucky Pete.
Okay.
First, give it up for Paula dealing with all the tech and everything for an hour and a half. So, Paula, yeah. Right. So a few minutes ago, Rich was talking about self-promotion and how terrible it is, and I agree with him. I would never do anything like self-promotion. To self-promote is just indulging yourself. There's no need to do it at all. I'm certainly not going to self-promote myself at my Edinburgh Fringe show, which is running from the 5th to the 11th of August. So, yeah, agree with you there, Rich. Good man. So I can see myself on the big screen there. I know what you're all looking at, but do remember this, yeah. One day, all of you will also be this old. Yeah. Yeah. Not the same day, I imagine. That would be wild. But some point in the future, all of you, even you young, handsome ones with your dreams and your hair, except Rich, all of you will come to be this old. And if you're lucky, you'll look as good on it as I do. Yeah, I am too sexy for my shirt. Yeah, I feel sorry for handsome men. Yeah, sorry, Michael. You see, compared with the handsome men, I get so many compliments about my nice personality. Yeah, something I can do that handsome men can't do, yeah. I can go to work exhausted and hungover and no one knows. My superpower. Right. By now, you'll have noticed the accent, yeah? I am English. I'm basically the same as the rest of you. I just communicate a little differently. And an Australian or an American, say, they'll send a text message that says, "Hey, honey, when I get home, I am going to ravish you to within an inch of your life." If it's me, "Hey, honey, When I get home, I am going to ravish you to within an inch of your life. Kind regards, Peter. That's how I communicate, yeah. Yeah, and as Paula says, I've been doing the online comedy for a long time. The Zoom shows are fun, but the technology can be a problem, yeah. Sometimes the lag, the delay is so bad. I'll tell my jokes, but I don't hear the laughs till the next comedian. Sort it out, Elon Musk. And still now in the Zoom shows, you'll get a male comedian on screen. He'll say something like, since the pandemic started, I have watched all the pornography. I have completed Pornhub. And I find this dispiriting because I'm uploading as fast as I can. And I'm recording twice a day. My back hurts. Yeah, like Duncan, I know you're a subscriber. Please give me a day off, man. Yeah. Like my back hurts and I'm clinically dehydrated. Like the only way I can properly rehydrate is the refreshing drinks at the Arcadia Hotel on Turak Road in South Yarra. One day I will get there. Final little note about Zoom, like sort of Zoom, it's Chinese technology, so a few online performers, they were worried that like the Chinese Communist Party will have agents in a Zoom room spying on us to make sure we don't say anything unorthodox. But they're not going to keep me quiet. I'm not going to be silenced like that. You see, I think the Chinese Communist Party are a bunch of absolute So I will not be silenced. Take that, Xi Jinping. Yeah, that's my time. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your show.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you. Oh. I feel like your sound is better when I don't use the mic, but your sound is better when I do. Who do I love the most? I don't know. Turning on the mic. Thank you so much. That was hilarious. I don't know why I haven't like been going to Tokyo, Mike, and I'm been missing all of those funny jokes, but now I got to hear them, so I don't need to go. No, that was really great. But you look very handsome.
Feel free to take the spotlight off me at any time.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. I was talking to you. But I will.
Thank you.
Now we have two more. Who's not looking straight?
I'm never not straight.
No, because I was looking behind you. Okay, I can tell you're gay just because of that. Now, you did not look straight at me.
It's because I have your lazy eyes.
No, it's because you're gay. Okay, we have now another performer who joined us online and became the first person to perform comedy from a hospital bed after heart surgery. And so I feel like that's just yeah.
Champion. You're a champion, Steve.
Yeah, let me give you a hug.
Sorry.
You can't be straight, so are you gay?
Oh,
Thank you, Paula.
All right, I'm going
Thank
to.
you for starting this unmuted comedy. I was a virgin in this sort of thing until I met you, you know?
So was I.
I'd never actually done online comedy before in any shape or form. And it both relieved the tedium of the lockdown and also gave me my first chance at, I mean, I wasn't unused to talking. It was just I've never done comedy before, I'd acted and so on. Anyway, we have to go. Hold closer. Yeah, okay, I can hear it.
All right, I am now going to hand over to Steve Gagen. Big clap, everybody.
No.
I happen to have my old school uniform, so I thought it'd be appropriate to wear it today for this gig, actually, because I'm going to talk about my school days. I went to a bit of a posh school, you see, but before I do that, I want to talk about the nature of limitation. V.K. Chesterton, the author of the Father Brown stories, said something along the lines that limitation is the stimulus for all art. And I first really noticed this in a cat, which we had a little cat called Hestia. Now, this is before of a classical bent, having got to the right sort of school. But Hestia was the goddess of the hearth in Greek mythology, but it turns out to be a lake of Brawl as well. But I don't know if you ladies know that. But anyway, it was a bit embarrassing calling out Hestia and Hestia in the street. But Hestia was a bit of a nuisance and kept stealing food and things like that. So we had to do things like lock her in the laundry, but there was a bit of a gap at the top. But she overcame that gap. She climbed up the wall, got over the top, and she did it so skillfully, so elegantly that you just had to reward her. And that's what limitations can sometimes do. The limitations of the lockdowns meant that we came up with something new. All right, it's Paula did it. So congratulations, Paula. Thank you. As I already mentioned, I went to a school, which is an Anglican school, which was rather off, but it wasn't in my sort of DNA. I was actually raised on a housing estate, a council estate in England. You call it what do I call it here? It's called a project home in the United States, called the Housing Commission here in Victoria, isn't it? And it was a bit rough. It was like being in an episode of Househouse. And but then I didn't go to school very much as a young fellow because I used to have really bad eyesight. But I must have read a lot of books because I won a scholarship to go to a posh school, an Anglican school. It was a very posh place. Sort of thing they used to raise the flags in the morning and would salute it. And we all had to join this school cadet force. And we learnt poems like, if I should die, think only this of me. That in a corner of a foreign field there lies a bit of England there. And the school song was terrible. Something like this. Emmanuel for the knowing that they to all the right. I won't go on. But it wasn't really my cup of tea. They also used to make us play cricket and rugby, which cricket wasn't too bad if it was played on the street corner with a few lads and a cricket bat and a tennis ball. But we had to play it with hard tennis balls, and some of those bowlers were absolute bastards with it. I remember seeing one boy. He got a tennis ball. I said he got a cricket ball. You know how hard a cricket ball is? It weighs about half a kilogram. Doing about 100 miles an hour, hit him straight in the face and knocked his teeth out. Of course, being a British pucker sort of public school, he wasn't told, oh, we can go off now, you know, you've done a little bit. No, come on, boys, spit those teeth out, go in, do it again. And the next ball got him straight in his ball. And he wasn't where he wanted it. Anyway, after writing on the ground for about 15 or 20 minutes, he thought he'd had enough with that one and he thought he'd retire. And the masters were kind enough to let him go at that point. The other thing that used to make it play was rugby, which is a gentleman's, a ruffian's game played by a gentleman. But I don't think any of our people were gentlemen for it, because it was very, very rough. I hated playing those sorts of games. And if you actually managed by some chance, I used to keep out of the way of the ball and talk possible both in cricket and in rugby. But if you actually got hold of the ball, you get 15 big hefty boys jumping on top of you, pushing you into the glutinous mud of an English rugby field with the ball underneath you. And then the master would say, let go of the ball, hand it over. But you know, what if I could get off the top of it? But it didn't need the image of rugby. Now, I have made a little crib sheet here so I don't miss anything out here. The shock of going to the school was, it wasn't just the rugby and the cricket, all that empire and stuff, you know, it was, the school song had been written about 1916 and was all about dying on battlefields and so on. But the one thing it did teach me though was to act and to fight. To act, because if you went home dressed like this in your little school cap and your scarf and so on, the cuffs on the estate would say, oh, you might look off, you know, and what to keep your head in. But if you went to school and said things like the way we spoke and the housing estate where 30,000 division of people preference broke, you get in there. So you learn how to do the accent for the appropriate place and behave appropriately. The other thing I found was that these people who attacked you were, of course, and the best thing to do with all this is to get in first. So when the bus around, you just get the first one in the front in the nuts and then walk on your way. And this is the way I carried it. Like I've always treated with that way. We had a bit of fun in our school though. We had a few sort of jokes like he was a Latin teacher and a French teacher, but he had a very broad Welsh accent. So we learned French with a Welsh accent. So we said things like, nous avons un bien. And I won't even attempt the Latin, but he kept going on about the absolute, absolute, and we never did quite grasp what it was all about. But one day, somebody, I don't know, me or somebody else out, decided to play a little joke on him. So we collared out the chalk and filled it with red match heads. So red match heads you didn't need a proper matchbox. If you rub them on any surface, they'd catch fire. So anyway, he started writing on the board and his chalk caught fire. And he was very annoyed about this joke being played upon him. But we said to him, look, sir, you're an Anglican school, it's divine intervention, it's divine action. So the funniest things were the sex lessons, actually, because they had down on the timetable, we actually learned about acts of life, you know, we were about 12. And it was standing in with the biology teacher, a jolly old fellow. And he said, he got some books out, and pictures and something. He said something vaguely about rabbits or something, and then it sort of went red and changed the subject to something else. So we got stuck at the amoeba stage with binary fusion. So I maybe learned a little bit more after that, because we never actually got onto we did the asexual bit, we never actually got onto the sex bit. But one thing the school did teach me was that being a religious school, they never taught us about sex. They did teach us about guilt. So all these sort of useful help books about sex without guilt, you had the guilt without the sex, you see. Thinking of which about guilt and sex reminds me, I know one was an Anglican school. I had another friend who went to Catholic school, and there are so many stories about Catholic education. I mean, a friend of mine who I met at university who'd been to a jail said that they were obliged to sleep with their hands out at the bed. Well, not both hands. They had to declare whether they were right or left-handed. And their dominant hand, they had to sleep out the bed. And the reason for doing this was that they wouldn't commit any acts of self-abuse. Well, all this really taught was how to act with the other hand. So the girls, of course, were subject to many more stringent rules than the boys. And one particular one was that they were told that they must not, in the account, show a hint of underwear to boys. Otherwise, they would go berserk, and this would lead to pregnancy and all sorts of terrible things, you know, damnation, permanent damnation. So, had a school dance, and again, we kind of a little bit later on. She was told specifically, the class was told on no account were they to wear patent leather shoes. for the school dance. This was going to be very difficult for the weekend. So, because boys would catch glimpse of your underwear through the reflection in the pattern letters. She was never more disappointed when she bought them. She snuck in with her tight leather shoes, past the inspections against the things, and put her tight leather shoes on, and nobody noticed. And nothing happened. In fact, she was a wallflower the entire night. Because this reinforces the point that if you didn't laugh, you'd cry. And I'll quote somebody who's a much greater wit than I am when it comes to these sorts of things. So this is why I've got a lot of restriction. Some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing a nice whistle, don't rumble, give a whistle. And this will help things turn for the best. Come along now. Always
Look on the bright side of life. Ba-da, ba-da, da, 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 da.
Always look on the bright side of life. If life seems so forgotten, there's something you've forgotten. And that's to laugh on the dancing thing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. So always
look on the bright side of life. Ba-da, ba-da, la, da, da.
Always look on the bright side of life. Okay, we'll stop there. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
That was good fun. All right. Thank you. So just before our lovely Saara comes on, who is like helped with the like when we were in a features mode, pro-lifers when it came to online comedy. We're going to just do a quick group shot. So we're going to have the onliners up on the screen, and we're going to have the real lifers, which you're real lifers too. Just depending on where you are. Just to me, you're like anyway.
Wow.
You know what I mean. So all the people who are here, just stay where you are, okay? And if you've got your camera off, put your camera on, and everybody just come up the front for a quick shot together of our first unmuted hybrid performance. Yeah, 5. Okay, is it okay? If you want to be in the photo, if you don't want to be in the photo, that's fine too. Just, you know, if you are here, if your camera is off, we won't see you.
I can't not.
Okay, just make sure it's turned
Hang on, I wasn't posing.
1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, we did it. Okay, Saara, stay up here. Now, last act for the day night. How are you guys going? I hope you're feeling okay. We got through it. It's a very new thing, but I love it that we did it.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it for a while. Now I know why I hadn't done it. Okay, we have the beautiful, the wonderful Saara Lamberg.
Yay.
Just want to put a little bit of a shout out to Saara, who just recently finished or had her premiere of her film, The Westermark Effect, which is amazing. It's comedy, it's love, it's romantic. Like, you know, it's a family film. It's just a family film, and it is brilliant. So I don't want you, like, Westermark Effect, everybody, please see if you can see it. It's a feature film made by this lady. She made it.
No, well done.
Yay, well done.
Her third one is about to come out. It really is an incredible achievement. So it's a lot. So give her a big round of applause for that. Very clever, very and she is. I'm like, mic again.
Sorry, I just had to take a moment to imagine all of you naked. For me, that made me less nervous. But actually now I'm just a bit horny. Yeah. Excuse me. Why are you looking at my eyes? My hips are down here. Honestly, so nice to see so many of you here. Other people that also don't have anyone to love them. Sunday afternoon. Great place to be. Yeah, you can see I've got notes. It's not that I can read, it's just to make me look like I'm smarter. Yeah, I should probably talk a little bit about my background. There's some white tiles, mirror, some plywood, screen. Now, if it seems like any of my jokes, you've heard them before, it's probably because I live in Brunswick. We love recycling. Or perhaps I actually stole them. No, I never steal anything before, but then I became Australian. Whenever I say that joke and there's other comedians in the audience, they just get really nervous. Like, oh no, she's gonna steal. You guys have nothing to worry about. Also you, because I only steal very funny jokes. Yeah. Now I do hope that I wish that I had a better set for you, but actually I got a bit distracted online dating. Who else is on dating services? No one, yeah. Yeah, me neither. No, skip that past. So yes, I am from Finland. We are known for our very wild sex life. You may have heard this. Oh yes, I do some things in bed that no Australian would ever do. I wear socks. It's like really sexy kind, more like just those really old, ratty looking ones. More comfortable, the better. Are you turned on? No one is. It's a very wild sex life. Actually, when I was walking here, I walked past a sex shop, and there was a big sign that says everything for your lover. But then it was all these like really skimpy, leathery, very uncomfortable, lazy kind of things. And I was like, if you loved me, like if you really, really loved me, you wouldn't get me any of those. You'd get me a lovely jumper. Yeah. Something else about Finland. We love statistics. Anyone in the audience love statistics? No, well, I can't marry any of you then. That's a bummer. So Finland is very well known for being the happiest country in the world. Some of you may have heard this. And also, another statistic that we do very well in is being highly educated. You may have heard this one also. What you may not have heard is that we also top. You will appreciate this soon. We also are very high on suicide rates. Now you think there is a conflict here. Happy, well-educated, but high suicide rates. But when you think about it, if you really think about it, stay with me, those people that do want to kill themselves are so well-educated that they are successful. So then the rest of us are just really happy. Or kicked out of the country because I was bringing the statistics down. Yeah. So I used to think of myself as a pansexual, which, if you haven't heard before, means that you just fuck anything that moves. But since the last couple of years, I've become more of like a pandemic sexual. It's like fuck anything
kids that managed to leave their house. Yeah, that's good. And given that I live in Brunswick, I've learned lots of new vocabulary, like polyamory, relationship anarchy. And it's great that we've got so many terms for not getting laid. Excellent. I should probably talk a little bit about the C word. Look, I wouldn't say that cancer was the best thing that ever happened to me, but like it's up there. Yeah, it made me a lot more likable, apparently. Yeah, like people said, you know, you're so brave. And I'm like, I just have to lie down and be on good drugs. And someone cuts bits out of me. Is that brave? I suppose it is. We're in South Yarra, so should have known. Yeah. Look, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. This is really, it's amazing. For me, it feels like going to support group. Yeah. Except, like, it's a little bit better because, like, I just get to talk about all of my problems and I don't have to pretend like I care about any of yours. Thank you, Paula. It's so amazing that you're running unmuted. Love you.
So to bring us to a close for our first ever hybrid unmuted comedy live. Oh my God, I reckon it's all right. What do you reckon? It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Probably all feel pretty, you know, like we've been, you know, I won't say it because I'll get banned from YouTube.
I mean, we always got banned from YouTube because
Yeah, that's right. We've already been banned. I'll just say it. I haven't done it. Hang on, I've got an actual student online who came along tonight to join us. So Ziching, I did not just say that. They're professional. Oh, there she is, yeah. Ziching was one of my former students, and she is now a friend and a colleague. So yeah, welcome to Unmuted Comedy. This is another side of me. Don't tell Speech Pathology Australia, please. So that's it for us now. I'll just say goodbye to everyone. Thank you so much for joining. And we're just gonna I'm gonna go out into we've got this room as well if we like. We can go out to the front, the top. I can't talk now. Teaching, I need speech therapy. Do you know a good speech pathologist? No? So I don't know how to edit these things sometimes. Well, thank you again. Thank you, people who performed online. I'm trying to think if I've forgotten to say thank you to anyone in particular. Okay, I'll just propose again. Okay, no, I don't know what I did. I have actually got 200 hours of me online, just gradually getting more and more drunk. But that's why I stopped drinking. Had all that video evidence. I was like, oh my God, I cannot deny any of this. So yeah, thanks everyone. It's gonna we'll end the show. I'll stop the recording and we'll just hang out. If you guys want to hang out, you're welcome. I'm gonna turn the screen around so you can face each other. It's gonna be like so crazy. Yeah, like we're in high tech. Oh no, and Peter says, what, we're gonna hang out with him? No. No. Okay, you guys can hang on if you like, but I'm just going to say goodbye. And thanks again for performing. I took a few photos. Michael Reynolds, I forgot to say thank you very much for all the photos you've been taking too. So, so absolutely. So yeah, that's it from us. So yeah, anyone want to say anything else good about me? Oh,
Seriously changed my life.
really? Just say that into the mic.
Yeah, unmuted seriously changed my life. I mean, like lockdown was pure hell without it. I don't think I would have made it quite as well out of it as well as I did. I'm eternally grateful for everybody.
Amazing, Duncan. I appreciate that. I actually loved your writing during lockdown. It just got it was such an insight into the world of someone with schizophrenia, and I just loved it. You know, that was the other thing about like, you know, your cutting joke, Kieran, and everybody's just like cracking up. It's like, oh, you know, I didn't want to use this knife because it nicked my finger while I was cutting. That is such a, like, and all of us just straight up laugh. That's, you know, inappropriate, I know, but and sometimes I forget that I'm not with comedians.
I think that's what I want. I want people to sort of laugh at my alcoholics. I want how it's like, so.
Yeah, well, someone the other day said, you know, that they were feeling suicidal and that they hoped the next day that, you know, if they're lucky they'd get hit by a bus. And I went, oh, sorry, I'm not a comedian.
Oh, I forgot you weren't here.
Yeah, sorry, shouldn't have laughed at that. But yeah, we did have some very dark humor as we got, like, to get us through, and I appreciate all of that, you know, that you're my people. Okay, I'm gonna end this, yeah, I'm just gonna say goodbye again and see you guys maybe in a month. I'm thinking this could work. Oh,
excellent.
Thank you to the Arcadia Hotel in South Yarra and my friend Ken, who owns this pub, and who said, yeah, you can use that on a Sunday afternoon and no one's using it. Just, you know, use it and just help, like, try it out, see what you like, you know, see what happens. And so I really appreciate that support, because without that friendliness, you sort of feel like it's hard to try new things. So having a friend who really helps. So yeah, shout out to Ken, shout out to the Arcadia, and now we're gonna end. Okay.
Thanks, Paula. It's been great. It's been excellent.
Cheers, Paula. Thank you. Good time.
Thank you, Paula. Thanks everyone.
Bye.
No.